Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Desmos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. We are going to talk about the mask, so it will be the first mask to sleep. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I have gathered a lot of events personally, so this is a real life event, and it has helped me understand what the problem was from the very beginning. And we're talking about dysfunctional families in this video. Now, if you're a black sheep, you have got so many family members around you that you apparently believe, or want to believe that they love you. Now, I've told you guys over and over again in my videos, this whole thing you're seeing in front of you is not personal. So all this abuse you're seeing happening with family members, they are stabbing you in the back, they are denying you the basic rights, they are throwing you out of the house, they are picking up on you, they are shaming you, they are smearing your name. Everything you see around you is not personal. So all these things you see happening, they are according to divine plan. And they have carefully been designed by the divine. So these are things that are supposed to happen, because for you to be able to understand what I'm dealing with, you need to see with your eyes what is the problem. And you see, God has blessed you because you are the only one who has got that insight. Wherever you see family members are going right, you have decided to go left. And everybody is thinking that you're the stupid one. Everybody thinks that why is all of a sudden this person not doing what everybody else is doing? You know what I mean? So you have usually decided to go the other way. While all other family members have been going right, you've been going left. And you've always decided to choose the narrow path. So you're not conforming, you're non-conformist in that family. You're a person who doesn't want to do what everybody else is doing because you don't believe in the BS. You can actually read beyond the veil, and you do not believe in the BS. So you have come onto this planet with this intelligence, with this wisdom, which wisdom is supposed to help you maneuver life on a daily basis. That wisdom is supposed to help you to survive, because I've told you the black sheeps usually are survivors. You know what I mean? It will always feel as if every moment you've been knocked face flat on the ground, you've always gotten back up on your feet. And many times people don't understand how you do it. So little do people understand that you've been sent. Little do people understand in that family that you're a chosen one who has been sent in those families to heal them. Now, I'm going to emphasize this video on the last parts of your engagements in that family. So those are some of the last moments usually you will experience as these masks are starting to flip, and as you're trying to understand, to come to the bottom of this whole thing, what has been going on. So usually what will usually happen is family members have already been backstabbing you, I mean, from day one. So you've had a lot of these brothers and sisters who have always been smearing your name, backstabbing you, doing horrible things to you. You've always had the questions, you know what I mean? But as a black sheep, as the chosen one, as the empath, you have been patient with these cycles. You have been seeing everything happening. Maybe sometime you've been questioning these things. You weren't really sure what was these things all about. But at the same time, you have been patient. So you've decided to stay composed and play along with the game. You know what I mean? Because at some point you already believed that this whole thing was a game. So this whole thing was a facade. Many of these family members you see, their job is to sustain and to protect the narcissistic parent at the top. So a lot of them are seeing the BS that the narcissistic parent is doing, but none of them is able to say anything or to do anything about it. So they are not in position. They don't even have that power to mention or to say anything or to go against the narcissistic parent at the top. Now you as a black sheep, the unexpected guest, you are the one who is able to go face on with those narcissistic parents. But usually it will take a lot of time trying to understand this whole situation, what is happening. So a time will come when this abuse is going to intensify. You are going to feel as if the family members that you've been involved with, they are now coming to that realization now whereby you are actually starting to see this abuse in broad daylight. You know what I mean? Usually they've been doing it behind closed doors. They've been doing it behind the scenes. They weren't showing it in your face. But it's going to come a time when this whole cycle is going to intensify. So the abuse and the torture and whatever, the gaslighting and the manipulation, it is usually going to intensify. And that is when you're going to start questioning um, the whole meaning of this whole drama, because you're going to see this drama play out in broad daylight in front of you. So a lot of times, other family members, before you unmask the real problem, it is first of all going to manifest within the other family members in your family. So your brothers are going to intensify their abuse. You're going to see a lot of times they are really going to hit you very hard in the back. You know what I mean? Before they would poke you, you know what I mean? And eventually they would start stabbing you. Now they are going to start hitting you very hard in the back. And you're usually going to see this in broad daylight. They are not even going to hide it. You know what I mean? They'll just sometimes call you and tell you things that they have always wanted to say. You know, for for the longest period of time, they've been trying to say a lot of things to you, and but they would a little bit hide it. You know, sometimes you know they depending on what the situation is at the moment, they may sometimes have been hiding some things from you. They would come around and poke you and run back and hide, but this time they are going to start hitting you direct in the face. And this is a moment when the black sheep usually feels that the whole thing is weighing them down and is becoming too much of a load for them. So this is when the black sheep normally they start to extract their energy bit by bit. So when the black sheep is extracting themselves from these families, they do not just wake up and do it all of a sudden and just bang everybody in the face or things like that. They are normally going to do it in bits because you know the black sheep. Remember, these guys are empaths, and these are guys that have been always trying to hold the entire family together. Their mission has been always to hold the entire family together, but it's because of your energy that is different that people do not understand in that family. That is the reason as to why they have usually been hitting on you for no apparent reason. So you've been seeing a lot of this abuse happening. They don't even know because these things have been subconscious. Most of the times, the things they have said or they have done to you, they have usually been very subconscious. So sometimes they would even do things that they were not aware of that this was abuse, but it's you actually who used to say this. So this whole process is a divine plan because for you to understand what you're dealing with, you first of all have to understand. You first of all have got to see it. For you to be able to understand what your mission is in that family, you as a chosen one, you being a chosen one, first of all, you need to understand what have you been dealing with. You need to see it in front of your eyes. So you need to feel this. You know what I mean? So there's always a reason behind the pain or the situation or the experiences that you've been seeing in your family. So there has been always a hidden reason that you didn't see. Now you see, like I've been saying, these members of the family, they're going to start um, towards the end of those families, you know, those entanglements with those families. Like I've said, this thing is going to intensify and you're going to feel like there's a very, very big weight on your shoulders. So when you look right, you see uh, your sister is hitting at you. When you look left, you see your brother is blaming you for something. You look right, you see a lot of them, because you see, this thing is a network. These are family members, they are a network of a lot of flying monkeys. Not everybody, all of a sudden, they are going to be flying monkeys, but a lot of them in that family, they're going to be flying monkeys. And behind closed doors, you're supposed to know that those individuals, they are doing everything in their power to make sure that they protect and they sustain that narcissistic parent at the top. But you see, most of the times, their masks are not going to sleep. They may sleep a mask here or two. Your sister may sleep a mask. and put it back. Your brother is going to slip a mask and put it back. So you're going to see a lot of these masks, these flying monkeys. They're going to be sleeping their masks in those last minutes, in those last days actually. But you're not going to take it seriously until you decide to take a step back. So when the black sheep makes a decision, a conscious decision that they say, they don't believe that they're going to be taking all this bullshit and this crap from their family members. So usually the black sheep is going to decide to take a step back. And this is why I want you guys to listen very closely, because this is why you're going to see the biggest mask slip. Now, when you take a step back, what you're actually doing, literally, you're deciding to take all your energy back, because now you're believing that you deserve better. You deserve better treatment. You deserve equal opportunities, so you do not want to be seen as the little goat in the family. So you take a step back and decide to evaluate this whole entire situation as what has been happening behind the veil. So what usually happens is that the reason why you're stepping back is because you started to see these little masks are sleeping from your within your family members. The mask is sleeping, the brother is sleeping a mask, the sister is sleeping a mask. You're starting to see this thing is like opening up. So this is like you're starting to open these curtains, and it's like you're starting to see these individuals. Probably you may not have the whole picture of what is going on, but you're starting to have that image that there is something wrong with these people and they don't even know it. You know what I mean? So what usually happens is that now you decide to extract your energy, because for the first time you're deciding to choose yourself. You're deciding that you're not going to be able to satisfy anybody. You're not going to be actually responsible to satisfy anyone. You're not going to be responsible to rescue anyone, because you're seeing a lot of these individuals, they're falling in the pit and then they're running to you for help. But after helping them, they're turning around and stabbing you in the back. So that's how the cycle has been going on and on for as long as you've been with those families. You run there to rescue these individuals. You rescue them and get them out of the pit. When they reach on the top, when you get them out of the pit, they are now starting their patterns of stabbing you and continuously doing those things that they've always done. But you see, this time now you're choosing that you are going to save yourself. You are worn out and you're exhausted and you're really, really extremely tired about this whole BS. So for the first time now you're choosing that you're going to save yourself. So what happens is that now you're dragging your energy out of the family. And most of the times when you start dragging this energy out of the family, that is when the real destruction is going to start. So I need you guys to listen very closely. The moment you get yourself out of the family, that is when you're going to see they're now going to start showing their real faces. But there is one particular person who's going to show the face. The real face that you've always been waiting to see. The real face that you've always been waiting to see is going to come from the narcissistic parent at the top. So you see, when this disruption is happening, there's a lot of rumor mongering happening within the family units, and you're trying to see who is the problem. You're seeing the brother will come around, do something. The sister will come around and do something and go back in hiding. The brother will come and go back in hiding. So they're going to now start expose themselves. But the moment is going to come. The real moment is going to come. That point when the narcissistic parent is going to come and actually really expose themselves in broad. This is when they are going to actually sleep all their mask all the way down. And when they do that, you're going to feel that energy. So to give you a clear example, I remember those last days when I was leaving the unit. So I decided that there was a lot of BS going on and everybody was trying to protect somebody, and I didn't know why were they trying to protect someone. You know what I mean? So I was like, I wasn't going to handle this. So I was starting to extract myself from the unit. Number one, to save myself, and number two, to extract my energy out of them, because I was feeling there was things that were supposed to be done and they were not being done. So I got very, very frustrated in this moment. So that's when I started extracting myself. And a lot of these people, they didn't see this in that time. They did not see what exactly was I doing. I was trying to get, because you see, the only time you can see the real problem is, first of all, by getting out of it. Step out of it for a minute and just watch what is going to happen. So the moment you step out of that unit, these people are going to feel like there is a particular cable you have unplugged from this family, and they are going to feel that energy. There is a deficiency in that family. They are going to know that there's somebody missing. Because now they're going to look around and they feel like there's this gap, there's this gaping hole, and they feel like there's somebody missing. They feel like the whole unit is incomplete. And now that is when you're going to see that narcissistic parent is going to come in full force. And that is exactly when that mask is going to slip all the way down. Because when that person is coming in, they are going to blow up in your face. They may not do it physically. They may do it if you're in that vicinity. But usually you may get a call, or you may get a message, or you may get a very, very, very angry, very, very extremely toxic message from the narcissistic parent at the top. And that is when they are going to tell you, and they're going to utter those words that you've never had before in your entire life. And that is when you're going to see the full-blown narcissist that you've always been dealing with all your entire life. So you see, along your journey within the unit, you've been asking yourself these questions. Who is this person? Why are they behaving like this? Why is my dad moving that way? Why is my mother doing this? Why is my sister doing this? Why is my brother doing this? You have not been able to get to the answer, but the universe has been preparing you for a reason, because the universe has been preparing the big snake. And that big snake, you're not going to see that big snake until you make a conscious decision to draw your energy back. Even if it's for a while, you're just standing back and trying to watch what has been going on within you. You want to get clarity of this situation, but you need to, first of all, get out, even sometime temporarily, and see what have you been dealing with. That moment when you do that is when you're going to see the big snake. So the big snake is going to come in, because amidst all this confusion that you've been seeing happening in the family, the moment you decide to get out, to take your foot out of that unit, that is when the big snake is going to come in, and the big snake is going to blow up in your face. So that is exactly when you're going to know who the problem has always been. So if it has always been your mother, because I've told you that the black sheep, you have always been at war from day one. Ever since you popped out of your mother's womb, you have been at war. The reason why you've been at war, because you are here on assignment. So a lot of these people, individuals on a very spiritual level, they have been usually feeling this energy, that you are there on assignment. They know that you're different. They know that you don't fit in. They know that you always move your way. They know that you always bounce back from whichever situation you've been. They know that you're always the different one. They sometimes used to call you the weird one. But they didn't really know who you were, because this secret has been hidden. God has hidden this secret from them on purpose. Should they have known who you were initially, in the beginning, they would actually harm you physically. So God has actually hidden that secret from them, and they were not supposed to know who you were this entire time, until you have caught up on the big snake. None of your family members will ever know who you are on the spiritual level. So they will never even know your mission, what your mission is, and what your assignment is in that family. They will even never know that you are the black sheep in that family. So they will never have a label for you, because God has been hiding you for a purpose. I've already done a video about this. God has been hiding you on purpose. On those last days, when you extract yourself, when you see this chaos happening, so this is some kind of a devaluation. This is when you have the entire devaluation process happening in the unit, whereby everybody's going to start hitting on you, but usually they don't want to do it directly. They will do it and go back into hiding. So until you know that, okay, so this is enough, you don't want to deal with this, you don't want to handle this, you are going to extract yourself from the unit. And that is when they are going to start to feel your energy. They are going to know that there is something missing in this unit. And that is when the big snake is going to come in. So normally the big snake will come in, it may be your dad. So you may all along have been fighting battles with your dad, with your father, or with your mother, and you didn't even know about these battles. You would feel them that they were treating you a certain way, but you were not exactly putting a finger on it. What was it? You are not able to understand what the problem was. So you have usually been having these doubts within your mind. Is your dad okay? Is your mom okay? Why are you still struggling with the mom? Why is your dad behaving a certain way? Why are they doing this? So you may not really have had the whole picture for as long as you've been in the unit. But the moment that big snake comes out, ladies and gentlemen, that mask is going to slip all the way down. And for the entire time you've been living with that snake, you've not been able to see that snake shedding its skin. But this time when the snake comes, I'm talking about that last moment, the moment you decide to detach, that is when you're going to see the big snake is going to come in, and the big snake is going to actually expose themselves. That is when you're going to see who the problem has always been this entire time. So that is when you sometimes you see a lot of these times you are uncovering your parents, So now, because I've told you guys in these dysfunctional family units, it is usually the parent who is carrying on this so-called trauma and curse. So they are the ones who have passed it on to the other generations, to all the family members in the unit, and many of them are not aware of this. But the big snake is going to come and expose itself in that moment, and that is when you are really going to know who the problem has always been, and that is when you are going to actually really understand who you are in the first place. It is when that revelation is going to come to you that actually you are the black sheep of the family. So normally when you're the black sheep of the family, you may usually have doubts. Along your journey, you don't understand who you are. You have these doubts, you have these feelings, but you're not sure about them. You know what I mean? You're not sure of them. But when that image comes at the last minute, ladies and gentlemen, that mask is going to slip to the degree that you've never seen before. And that is when you're going to know who the problem has always been in that unit. So normally when that moment comes and the mask slips, that first mask, I'm talking about the real mask slip. I'm not talking about these ones whereby they're sleeping and then are going back to fix the mask. This one is going to sleep and you're going to completely see your dad in broad daylight and you're going to confirm what the problem has always been. So normally what happens at that moment, they usually do it out of anger. So the parent may be angry. They may come around and ask you things like, why have you all of a sudden left the family? Why have you abandoned the family? You're stupid, you this, and that's what they are going to see. They are going to rage in that way you've never seen before. They are going to tell you words that you've never heard in your entire life. And that is when you're going to know the real person you've been dealing with. So normally they get a lot of shame from this. Because when that mask slips, it's like they do not know what to do with themselves. They've already exposed themselves and they don't know what to do with themselves. So now what they do, that's when they're going to come around and comfort the other family members that, this person is crazy. I tried to talk with him. Go and talk to your sister because me, I've tried to explain to them. They're not listening, this and this. But they're not going to explain to them what has happened. Because normally when that mask is sleeping, it's like it is not sleeping in front of everybody. So most of the times they will find you in a certain pocket somewhere, in an isolated place where they are going to really tell you how they feel about you. And that is when you're going to know your father for the very first time for who they really are. But normally after that shame, it is going to put them in a very deep shame and they don't know what to do with themselves. So they're going to try sometime to go around and go back and hide in the closet. And they're going to notice that actually that closet is too small for them and they cannot fit in the closet anymore. So they may sometimes go through that process when they may usually come around and a little bit, smear your name here and there. That person is crazy. They are this, and I've been trying to talk to them all along. They don't listen. You guys go and talk to your brother. Go and talk to your sister. If you're a woman, they may send you a lot of your other family members. Go and talk to your sister. Or if you're a man, you may send you go and talk to your brother. So something like that. You're going to see a lot of these family members coming in and dad was angry. I know that. You guys had a misunderstanding or the things like that, but don't worry, you need to come back and all of these kind of things. But at that moment, it's too late. Ladies and gentlemen, when that mask slips, you will know. The universe will confirm to you, ladies and gentlemen, the real reason and the real things you've been dealing with in that family. The universe is going to bring those people in broad daylight and is going to expose them in front of your face. So that is when you're going to know the real problem, what the real problem has always been. When that mask is slipping all the way down and you're able to actually uncover your parents for the very first time. So you will know. If it's your mother, you will know. And if it's your father, you also know. You know what I mean? But there's got to be one of them that has always been the problem this entire time that you were not aware of. So, Black Sheep, I would like to know your experience as well, if this has happened to you. And of course, you guys already know. I love and appreciate your support. I always want to hear your feedback. What do you think about this content? Drop us something in the comment section below. Book a session with me if you want to, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I always offer sessions. And until then, it's been a blessing to have you guys on board. Much love and blessings. There's almost signing out. Catch you in my next one. Peace.